Sometimes, justice doesn't arrive with sirens or flashing lights. Sometimes it limps in, bruised, bleeding, and with a tail. This is the story of how one small puppy, beaten, abandoned, and forgotten, became the only witness to a crime no one could explain, and the only reason justice was ever served. It was 12:43 a.m. A cold wind blew through Ash Valley Forest. Even the owls weren't awake. Then, headlights. A rusty, dented pickup truck rolled slowly down the gravel path. The driver's face, hidden in shadows, watched the trees as if worried someone might see. But no one was watching. Not a soul. Just the trees. Just the night. The truck jerked to a stop. The door creaked open. A small bundle was hurled out, like trash. It hit the dirt with a sickening thud. A sharp yelp tore through the silence. Then, the engine roared. The truck vanished. What was left behind was a tiny, shaking creature, eyes barely open, whimpering, bleeding, and alone. Just before dawn, a local farmer named Dale Parker was out checking his fence line. The storm last night had knocked down branches and scattered debris. That's when he saw it. A small body curled up under a bush near the road. At first he thought it was dead. Then, movement. A twitch. A cry. He rushed over. It was a puppy, no older than 8 weeks, cold, soaked, covered in blood. Dale scooped him up in his coat and drove straight to the county animal shelter. He didn't know it yet, but that small act of kindness would crack open a murder case days later. At the shelter, the vet cleaned and bandaged the puppy's wounds. There were bruises, but no deep cuts, no major injuries. But one thing didn't make sense. Too much blood. More than any of his wounds could explain. Technician ran a standard test, just in case. The results came back confusing. The blood wasn't his, or at least not all of it. There was human blood on him, fresh, still traceable, and whoever it belonged to had been bleeding badly. 2 days earlier, a young man named Ethan Turner had vanished. He was a 27-year-old nature photographer, known for documenting wildlife and protected habitats. He'd been working on a series about illegal poaching in remote forests. His last known location, Ash Valley Forest, the same area where the puppy had been dumped. His fiancée, Rachel, had reported him missing when he didn't return home. His car was found on a dirt access road. Keys inside. His camera gear? Missing. His phone? Off. Search. Parties scoured the woods for 48 hours. No luck. It was like he had vanished into the trees. Detective Claire Callahan was assigned to the missing persons case. Experienced, sharp, and known for her instincts, Claire didn't believe in coincidences. When she heard about a bloodied puppy found in the same forest, something clicked. She drove to the shelter carrying one of Ethan's hiking jackets. When she entered, the puppy was sleeping, curled up in the corner. She walked over and gently held the jacket near his nose. What happened next gave her chills. The puppy leapt up, barking, whining, scratching at the air. He tried to pull the jacket from her hands. He knew that scent. He remembered it. Claire sent the blood sample on the puppy to forensics. 2 profiles were confirmed. 1, Ethan Turner. 2, unknown male. This wasn't just animal abuse anymore. This was a witness covered in human evidence. Claire made a bold move. She brought the puppy back to the forest, not as a rescue, as a lead, and he didn't disappoint. As soon as they arrived at the trailhead where Ethan's car was found, the puppy began sniffing wildly. He tugged on the leash, walking with determination. Not aimlessly like a lost dog, but with purpose. He led them about 300 yards off the trail, then stopped. There, beneath a tree, was a charred pile of gear. They found a half-melted camera bag, burnt scraps of paper, and a nearly destroyed SD card. It was sent for recovery. Only one photo was saved. The image was blurry, but it showed Ethan, standing next to a black SUV. Behind him, reflected in the car mirror, was part of a man's face. The license plate wasn't clear, but the make and model were. A search turned up one registered match in the area, Roger Baines, an ex-con with a long record, burglary, illegal hunting, and firearms violations. He had a hunting cabin 5 miles from the forest. Claire brought Baines in for questioning. He denied everything, said he hadn't been near the woods, claimed the car wasn't his anymore, laughed when asked about Ethan. But Claire wasn't done. She had one more witness. She brought in the puppy. The moment the little dog saw Baines, his body stiffened. He growled, low, dangerous. His fur bristled, his tail straightened. He barked, not in fear, in memory. He remembered what that man had done. The room fell silent. Baines's face turned pale. He knew the dog remembered. Claire took the puppy out once more. This time, they followed a different path, based on coordinates from Ethan's last known camera location. The puppy led them into dense brush, down a hill, to a hollowed-out tree stump. Inside, a shattered phone. Burned. Rope, a boot print in dried blood, and Ethan's torn notebook. Partially legible. Forensics pulled fingerprints off the phone. They matched Roger Baines. That was all Claire needed. Faced with mounting evidence and the unshakable presence of the puppy, Baines finally broke. He confessed Ethan had caught him, setting illegal snares and taking photos of endangered species being slaughtered. He confronted Baines, said he would report him. They argued. Baines hit him. Things escalated. Ethan fell, hit his head. Instead of calling for help, Baines panicked, burned the gear, tried to destroy evidence. And the puppy? He had tried to defend Ethan, barked, bit Baines. So, Baines threw him in the truck and dumped him on a road thinking no one would ever know. Ethan's family, shattered by the loss, asked to see the puppy. The moment they met, something clicked. Rachel, Ethan's fiancée, held him close, crying. He tried to protect him, she whispered. He was there at the end. They adopted him, named him Justice, because that's what he brought. He was left to die, cold, bleeding, alone. But he carried the truth on his fur, in his bark, and in his memory. In a world full of silence, he spoke. And because of him, a killer was caught. Because sometimes the bravest witness doesn't speak at all. Sometimes justice walks in on 4